Okay, so this question is one that I wrote, and they haven't asked anything this complicated with quotes around it. 'Cause it's not really complicated. It just has multiple things you have to move. So minus 9x plus 7y minus 17. I'm moving them all at once. Minus 9x plus 7y minus 17. I am moving them to that side because I want to keep the x and x squared and y terms positive, because if I wasn't doing this with the app, it would be very, very hard to do with the x squared and y squared terms actually being negative. So it's a good idea just to move it, leave the x squared and the y squared positive, because eventually, probably next year, you're going to have to do it without using the calculator app. So I've got that. So I am going to take this up here, and I'm going to see what the center and radius is. So I'm going to hit maps, 4 for conics, 1 for circles, 2. A is 1, so it's in front of the x squared and the y squared. If I had moved them their way, it would be -1, and it would still work. B is -9, so it's in front of the x. C is 7, and D is -17. And I'm going to go ahead and drop that. Alpha, enter. Okay, gives me that radius right there. So now this is a question that I wrote, so it does give you a decimal radius. So let's talk about what I would do with this if I was you. All right, if it's a question that I wrote, I would write down radius equals 7.04 for the hundredths place, whatever it's at the round to, and I'd be done. All right, but let's see if we can figure out approximately what this radius would be. So I'm going to 7.0356. I'm going to quit out of there. So I'm going to do 7.0536 squared, and I'm going to hit enter. And it gives me 49.75 with some more stuff. These radiuses, are typically going to be accurate to the hundredths place. Because of rounding, it's going to mess things up. So the exact value of this radius is almost definitely the square root of 49.75. Okay, and if I want to see, let's see how close it is. So second square root 49.75. Okay, and that's pretty close to what it was. So I would think that that's probably what it is. Okay, maybe not exact, but more than likely that is what the answer is, because thinking out loud here, so I'm stumbling. Because when I actually do this the long way, I typically don't end up with any issues where I have things that are not 0.25 or 0.5 or 0.75 at the end of the radius squared. And if you actually take the time to do this the long way out by hand, you'll see why that happens. And it's because you're splitting things in half and then squaring them. So you're consistently squaring 0.5s when you're cutting things in half. So it's a very short explanation of a very complicated looking thing. If you're actually interested in seeing how it works, just stop and see me.